This is way better than anyone expected. After trading Brock Nelson at the NHL trade deadline, the New York Islanders are now 3 points out of contention. We're going to break their odds down on this episode of Islanders Digest and really talk about their recent play, starting with last night's game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And honestly, this team has me excited about hockey again, and I'm really starting to believe that this team has what it takes to make a playoff push. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be one of our first 100 subscribers. If you're an Islander fan and you want more Islanders content like this is the channel for you. And let's get right into last night. After going down 2 goals, again, it was looking like it was going to be another situation where the Islanders win a big game and you just cannot follow it up when they play a lesser opponent in the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was looking really frustrating, and then they came out once again in the third period, just a few seconds in, Kyle Palmieri scoring a huge goal. And from there, the Islanders were just rolling, and they got the win. Been a lot of games this season where the Islanders have played well, and they just have not been able to get the 2 points they deserve. In recent games, they're starting to really make sure they capitalize on their opportunities and get points in games where they can get points. Also want to note, Noah Dobson had his 8th goal in the year. Since coming back from injury, he had a couple slow games, but now he's really starting to look like his old self, and not his old self from before he got injured this season, but his old self from last season where he was a dominant defenseman. And this is really good to see. I'm really curious to see if Islander fans who wanted to trade Noah Dobson still want to trade Noah Dobson. The way he's playing now, it doesn't look like they should trade him. He's looking really strong out there, providing 2 points yet again in this win, and he's going to have to continue being one of their top offensive players if they're going to make the playoffs, especially with Matt Barzal still out from injury. Him and Bo Horvat are really going to have to play their best hockey, and right now they're looking really good. I mean, Bo Horvat had an assist right now. Some people do want more from Horvat. At the end of the day, he's playing without a lot of his teammates. He's really holding on to the offense all by himself while we wait for Barzal to return. I've been really satisfied with his play. And yeah, they've been good enough to hold themselves 3 points out of the playoff spot. And at this point, this is becoming something that needs to be talked about more. I've watched several videos talking about the playoff hunt, and none of them even seem to mention the Islanders by name. Well, if they're looking at the standings today, they are going to have to talk about the Islanders and how they have a real shot at making the playoffs here. Montreal is in front of them with 73 points in 67 games. They played the same amount of games as the Islanders, so to pass them, the Islanders are going to have to gain some points on them. But other than that, the Islanders are sort of in the driver's seat here. I mean, they played the same amount of games as the Columbus Blue Jackets. They also have a game against the Blue Jackets coming up. That's going to be a huge game. Not as big as their next game coming up against the Montreal Canadiens, but a huge game nonetheless. Behind them, the Detroit Red Wings have 70 points in 68 games. The Islanders now control their destiny against Detroit. They control their destiny against Boston, a team they have more points than as well. And they're really starting to have a little more control. Now, they still have to pass the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens, but if you're looking right here, New York Islanders have played 67 games. The Rangers have played 69 games. They did not look that well last night. I was watching the scoreboard, and as soon as the Islanders got the win, I made sure to check out to make sure the Rangers lost. They did. So now the Rangers, while they have 2 points ahead of the Islanders have 2 games to catch them. They also have a game against the Rangers where they're going to have to win. They cannot get swept by the Rangers. They're going to want to make the playoffs. And these odds are looking a lot better than they were in previous weeks. If you look at moneypuck.com, they now have the Islanders with a 26% chance at making the playoffs. They still have the Rangers as the favorite to make the playoffs, and the Montreal Canadiens as the second place team and they both have around 30% chance. But a week ago, it was looking like the Islanders had like a 10% slim chance, and now Money Puck is really seeing this as a 3-team race, and it's going to be really exciting to see if the Islanders can pull through. They're going to be playing meaningful hockey games, which is, as fans, is really what we wanted. And yeah, I'm excited. I really think the Islanders have a good chance at making this playoff spot because unlike the Montreal Canadiens, who are a younger team playing pretty well, the Islanders have this experience. They're used to being in these hunts towards the end of the year, and we've seen a couple years in a row where it seemed like the Islanders were out, and then all of a sudden at the end they pull a little trick, a couple wins out of their hat, and they're right back in it, and it really feels like that right now. The Rangers are not used to being in this situation, and if you watch their last game against Calgary, they really did not have it. So I truly believe that the Islanders can catch the Rangers. And the question is, can they catch the Montreal Canadiens? And that is going to start next game on the 20th. The Islanders are playing the Montreal Canadiens in a huge game. And this is really going to be a major 4-point swing, as Butch Gordon calls it, in the standings. Because if the Islanders can win this game in regulation, we're definitely going to see a huge monumental odd shift in their favor, as they would then move to 1 point behind the Canadiens. They would still remain even in games. Now, if the Islanders lose this game, it's going to be really tough. I really want to focus on if the Islanders can pull off a big win against Montreal at home. And the Islanders have been playing really strong at home as of late. You just beat the Florida Panthers at home. Before, you had a tough loss to the Edmonton Oilers, where I feel like you played pretty well. The Islanders have a real chance if they can beat the Montreal Canadiens and then go on a little bit of a run here at home. And we can be looking at a situation next week where the Islanders are in the playoff spot trying to fend it off. And that's really exciting to think about, but right now they have to focus one game at a time. And when it comes to these one game at a time, we got to focus on some players who are really playing standout hockey right now and giving this Islanders team a chance to make the playoffs. Especially after losing Brock Nelson on the trade deadline, it really felt like this season was over. Clearly it is not. The Islanders are alive and well, and one player who is really to thank for that is Ilya Sorokin. Stefan Rosner tweeted, Ilya Sorokin has allowed 3 goals or fewer over his last 7 games, 4-2-1, with a 2.28 goal against average and a 922 save percentage. And this is incredible. This is exactly why the Islanders are able to contend in these games, and it's why the Islanders have a real chance at making the playoffs, making this push, because the Islanders' goaltending with Ilya Sorokin has been so strong. And when your goalie plays well, you have a chance to win a game. They have better goaltending than the Montreal Canadiens. Igor on the Rangers is a great goalie. He's having a little bit of struggle right now. But right now, Ilya Sorokin is giving the Islanders a better chance than anyone to win games, and this has been absolutely huge. I have seen some fans on Twitter kind of dragging his game recently. I don't really understand why. There have been talks of people complaining that Patrick Waugh is playing Ilya Sorokin too much. Ilya Sorokin has played 51 games this season, and to that I say other top goaltenders are playing the same amount of games. It's not like Patrick Waugh is the only coach playing his goaltender every single night, unless we have a back-to-back. I mean, Tampa Bay Lightning play Vasilevsky every single night. The Winnipeg Jets play Hellbook every single night. If you look at the Rangers, Igor has played the same amount of games as Ilya Sorokin, so it's not like he's dealing with this crazy workload, and he's playing well. I know the 907 is not what people want. People want to see those first few seasons at 925 save percentage, but you know what? Save percentage is down in the NHL right now. The Islanders are not playing the best hockey. They're playing good team hockey, but they're not giving him much to work with, especially in terms of leads, which can make it harder for a goalie to play that much better. The Islanders do still give up some high-quality chances. They have been better recently now they've got their entire defense back, which is another reason why you believe that the Islanders can make this push. But at the end of the day, Ilya Sorokin has been really strong this season, and he's going to have to continue to play strong if the Islanders are going to make the playoffs. Now, the other player I want to talk about, Stefan Rosner pointed him out, and I love Stefan Rosner's tweets. He is the best when it comes to posting Islanders updates. Pierre Engvall has recorded 3 or more shots in the last 3 games, and I don't want to make too much of a big deal about this, but I will note, last week I was pretty low on Pierre Engvall. He has struggled all season long at many points playing on the 4th line. He looks absolutely invisible, was not providing any benefit to the team. In recent days, it seems like Patrick Waugh's message has finally gotten into his head, and this is talking about how he's been shooting more consistently, and he hasn't done this since 2023, which honestly I think it's a little concerning that he hasn't had 3 shots in a row in 3 games since 2023, but it shows that he is playing better as of late. And what I really want to focus on when it comes to Pierre Engvall, it's not the shots, it's not the goal, because he had a big goal against the Penguins in last game. It's more, for the first time ever watching Pierre Engvall, I saw him make a check the other night, and looking at the stats, he actually had 4 checks in a game, which is something I have never seen him do. I can't remember before that game watching Pierre Engvall throw a body check. He normally skates up to the guy, stops right before, curls around, and just watching him actually throw the body, like using his size that he's been gifted with, it shows that maybe there is some potential in Pierre Engvall. Maybe they can get something out of him. And right now, if the Islanders are going to make the playoffs, they're definitely going to need more help from Pierre Engvall, because that third line looked really good with him playing on it. Honestly, the fourth line looked really good too. I think the third and fourth line were the most impressive lines for me last night, which is really good to see, because even though they don't have the most talent on those lines, they're playing really hard and they're playing good structural hockey. And for a team like the Islanders that has to win by committee, that is how they're going to make the playoffs. Taking a look at Pierre Engvall's stats really quickly, again, only 10 points. I'm not going to say like he's been a great player this season, because he has not. He's been really struggling. But as of late, he has been playing a lot better. I know in my previous video, I did complain that Patrick Waugh put him on the third line ahead of Siplikov. You know what? I take it back. He earned that spot, and he played like he deserved it in that game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That being said, let me know what you think about this Islanders team. Do you think the Islanders have what it takes to make the playoffs this season? Do you want to see them make the playoffs? I'd love to know your thoughts about this in the comments below. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's go Islanders.